Did you know 90% of people are completely ruining their mornings with the wrong foods? But here's the kicker. Most of the right foods are gatekept by doctors. But don't you worry. Today I'll reveal the 15 morning foods you should be eating every single day, backed by science and improves your long-term health if you eat them at least once a day. What determines how long we live comes down to what we consistently eat, and these are the 15 foods your body needs. Let's begin our countdown with number 15, bananas. Look, before you skip this one because, oh, bananas, how boring. Just hear me out. Bananas are one of the most underrated morning weapons you have. They're loaded with potassium, which directly supports your blood pressure and heart function. They've got natural sugars paired with fiber that gives you a clean, steady energy release, not that spike and crash garbage you get from a donut. And here's the kicker. Slightly underripe bananas contain resistant starch, which feeds your good gut bacteria and keeps you feeling full longer. There's literally zero excuse not to eat one. Seriously, who's skipping bananas? Your grandma was right all along. But wait, number 14 takes gut health to a completely different level, and the science behind it will genuinely surprise you. Number 14, kefir. Think of kefir as yogurt's overachieving older sibling who actually went to medical school. It's a fermented dairy drink packed with a diverse range of probiotic strains, way more variety than regular yogurt can offer. Those beneficial bacteria go in and start literally rebalancing your gut microbiome. A healthy microbiome is now linked to better immune function, lower inflammation, improved metabolism, and even better mental health through what scientists call the gut-brain axis. Plus, the fermentation process breaks down lactose, so even people who can't do regular dairy often handle kefir just fine. And here's what most people miss. Kefir contains bioactive peptides produced during fermentation that have been shown to naturally lower blood pressure, making it one of the few breakfast foods that actively works on your cardiovascular system while you're still half asleep. Your gut has about 38 trillion bacteria living in it. Might as well be on good terms with them. And speaking of things people have been getting wrong for decades, number 13 was unfairly villainized for years, and it's time to set the record straight. Number 13, eggs. Eggs have had a public relations nightmare for the last 30 years. Too much cholesterol, the headlines screamed. Except science moved on, even if the headlines didn't. What we now know is that for most people, dietary cholesterol has minimal impact on blood cholesterol levels. What eggs actually deliver is a complete protein, all 9 essential amino acids your body can't produce on its own. They're also one of the best sources of choline on the planet, a nutrient that's essential for brain health and neurotransmitter function that most people are severely deficient in. And here's the part that genuinely surprises most people. Studies show that people who eat eggs for breakfast consume significantly fewer calories throughout the rest of the day compared to those who eat carb-heavy breakfasts, simply because the protein and fat combo keeps hunger completely under control. Just eat the whole egg. The yolk is where all the magic lives. Throwing away the yolk is like buying a sports car and leaving the engine at the dealership. But here's what they don't tell you. Number 12 is a breakfast food most people think is too fancy for mornings, and that assumption is quietly costing them years of heart health. Number 12, wild-caught salmon. Yeah, salmon for breakfast sounds fancy, but smoked salmon on toast takes about 45 seconds to prepare, and it's one of the most nutrient-dense things you can eat first thing in the morning. Wild-caught salmon is loaded with omega-3 fatty acids, specifically EPA and DHA, the long-chain types your body uses directly without conversion. Those omega-3s reduce inflammation at a cellular level and get incorporated into the membranes of your brain cells and heart cells, literally changing how they function. It also delivers high-quality protein, vitamin D, and selenium. What makes wild-caught specifically worth the extra $1 or $2 is that farm-raised salmon is fed a completely different diet, resulting in less calcium, less iron, and a significantly inferior omega-3 profile compared to fish that lived and fed naturally in the wild. Brain protection, heart protection, anti-inflammation, all before 9 a.m. That's efficiency. Salmon doesn't care about your cholesterol concerns. It just shows up and does the work. Now, if salmon handles the big picture, number 11 is the snack-size version of brain protection. and it fits in the palm of your hand. Number 11, walnuts and pecans. A small handful of walnuts in the morning, and you've basically handed your brain an upgrade. Walnuts are one of the richest plant-based sources of omega-3 fatty acids, specifically ALA, which partially converts into the longer-chain DHA and EPA your brain runs on. They also contain polyphenols with potent antioxidant effects that specifically reduce oxidative stress in the brain. Large prospective studies have consistently shown that people who eat nuts regularly have lower all-cause mortality, not just heart disease, but death from all causes. The fiber in nuts feeds beneficial gut bacteria, the magnesium supports over 300 enzymatic reactions in the body, and the healthy fats keep you satiated for hours. Don't overthink it. Just grab a small handful and move on. They look like tiny little brains. Coincidence? Probably, but eat them anyway. But here's the part that gets really interesting. Make sure you're subscribed and stick around, because the foods coming up in the top 10 are ones most people eat zero of, and the data behind them is genuinely mind-blowing. Real quick, if you're finding this useful, smash that subscribe button and hit the bell. We put out videos like this every week, and you do not want to miss what's coming. Now, let's keep going. Number 10, Greek yogurt. Not the sugary fruit on the bottom stuff that's basically dessert with a health halo. We're talking plain, full-fat Greek yogurt. This stuff is around 80% protein by calorie. One of the most protein-dense foods you can eat, full stop. When you eat protein alongside any carbs in the morning, it dramatically slows glucose absorption into your bloodstream. That means no insulin spike, no crash an hour later, no raiding the snack drawer by 10:30. Here's what makes it even more valuable. Greek yogurt contains roughly twice the protein of regular yogurt because the whey is strained out during production, which also makes it significantly lower in sugar, meaning you're getting more of what your body needs and less of what it doesn't. Throw some berries on top, some walnuts, a drizzle of something dark. Done. High protein, probiotic, bone-supporting breakfast in 90 seconds flat. Greek yogurt. The protein shake that doesn't taste like chalk. Respect. And what goes perfectly on top of that yogurt? Number 9, and it's tiny, almost invisible, and somehow one of the most nutritionally dense foods on earth. Number 9, chia seeds. These little guys look like nothing. They taste like almost nothing. And they're quietly one of the best things you can add to your morning routine. When they hit liquid, they absorb up to 10 times their weight in water and form a gel that slows digestion, stabilizes blood sugar, and keeps you feeling full for hours. And here's the part that genuinely surprises most people. Just 2 tablespoons of chia seeds contain more calcium than a glass of milk, more omega-3s than most fish oil capsules, and enough fiber to cover nearly 40% of your recommended daily intake, all packed into something that weighs less than a coin. Zero cooking, zero skill required, just results. 2 tablespoons of chia seeds, and suddenly you're the type of person who has their life together. But here's the kicker. Number 8 is something most people already have in their kitchen right now and have no idea it's one of the most powerful blood sugar regulators on the planet. Number 8, cinnamon. Okay, technically not a standalone food, but cinnamon earns its spot on this list because of one very specific superpower: blood sugar regulation. Cinnamon contains compounds that mimic insulin and actually improve insulin sensitivity in your cells. In a morning context, sprinkling cinnamon into your oatmeal, coffee, or yogurt actively dampens the glucose spike from whatever carbs you're eating alongside it. It also has powerful anti-inflammatory and antioxidant properties, and research shows it may help reduce LDL cholesterol. Here's the catch though. Ceylon cinnamon, sometimes called true cinnamon, is the type you want for daily use because it has significantly lower levels of coumarin than the cassia variety most grocery stores carry. And high coumarin intake over time can actually stress your liver. Your morning oatmeal just became a metabolic weapon. Cinnamon, the spice that's been fighting inflammation since before inflammation was even trendy. Now cinnamon works from the inside, but number 7 protects your cells, your arteries, and your blood pressure all at the same time. And most people only discover it when it's already too late. Number 7, avocado. Avocados are one of those foods that went from niche health food to Instagram cliche to, rightfully, morning staple. They're one of the few fruits loaded with heart-healthy monounsaturated fats, the same type as olive oil, which actively reduce LDL cholesterol and support cardiovascular health. Avocados are also loaded with potassium, actually more per gram than bananas, and magnesium, which regulates blood pressure and muscle function. And here's something most people don't realize. Avocados are one of the only fruits that contain significant amounts of lutein and zeaxanthin, the same eye-protecting antioxidants found in eggs, meaning a breakfast of eggs and avocado isn't just delicious. It's actively defending your vision as you age. Eat it on seeded toast with an egg, blend it into a smoothie, or slice it next to some smoked salmon. Toast that's actually working for you? Revolutionary. Your cardiologist approves. And speaking of things that protect your arteries, number 6 handles something most people completely neglect in the morning. And it's been doing it quietly for 4,000 years. Number 6, green tea or matcha coffee gets all the glory. Green tea doesn't care. Green tea contains catechins, specifically EGCG, which are some of the most potent antioxidants found in any plant food. But here's what sets green tea, and especially matcha, apart from coffee. It also contains L-theanine, an amino acid that promotes calm, focused alertness without the jitteriness or cortisol spike that straight caffeine can cause. Matcha in particular is the powdered whole leaf version, so you get concentrated doses of everything. Swap your second cup of coffee for a matcha and your focus sharpens without the 2 p.m. crash. Green tea has been around for 4,000 years. It's not waiting for your approval. Watch till number 1. It's something most people walk right past in the grocery store without a second look. And the longevity data behind it might be the strongest we have for any single food on the planet. But first, number 5, and the research on what it does to your brain long term is genuinely alarming. Number 5, blueberries. Blueberries are small, they're easy, and the research on them is staggering. They contain extraordinarily high concentrations of anthocyanins, the compounds that give them that deep blue-purple color. These aren't just antioxidants sitting around looking pretty. They cross the blood-brain barrier, meaning they directly affect how your brain functions. Studies following older adults over multiple years found that those who ate more blueberries regularly showed significantly slower rates of cognitive decline, and the mechanism is reduced oxidative stress and inflammation in the brain directly. Frozen blueberries work just as well as fresh and cost a fraction of the price, so there's absolutely no excuse not to have them in your freezer at all times. A handful of blueberries in the morning is basically a subscription to your future self's memory. Subscribe. But here's what makes number 4 even more impressive. It does something similar for your blood vessels, but through a completely different mechanism that most people have never even heard of. Number 4, beetroot. If you're sleeping on beets, it's time to wake up. Beetroot is one of the highest dietary nitrate foods on the planet, and nitrate converts in your body, via bacteria in your mouth and gut, into nitric oxide. Nitric oxide is the compound that tells your blood vessels to relax, expand, and improve blood flow. The result? Lower blood pressure, better circulation, improved exercise performance, and better oxygen delivery to your muscles and brain. And here's the part that really drives this home. Elite athletes have been using beetroot juice as a legal performance enhancer for over a decade, because the nitric oxide boost is so measurable and consistent that it has become standard practice in professional sports nutrition. Roast it, blend it into a smoothie, or just eat it with olive oil and salt as a side. Beets will turn your smoothie an alarming shade of red. That's not a bug, that's a feature. Now beets are handling your blood vessels. But number 3 is handling your bones, your gut, your metabolism, and your muscle mass all at the same time. It's basically the Swiss Army knife of breakfast foods, and almost nobody is eating it. Number 3, cottage cheese. Cottage cheese doesn't get anywhere near the attention it deserves. Here's why it should be on your morning plate. It's around 80% protein by calorie. Genuinely one of the highest protein to calorie ratios you'll find in any food. That protein slows down glucose absorption from whatever else you're eating, which crushes insulin spikes and keeps your blood sugar flat and stable for hours. It's high in calcium for bone density, and it contains casein protein, a slow-digesting protein that keeps you full significantly longer than whey or plant proteins. And yes, It's a fermented dairy product, which means live beneficial bacteria for gut health. Here's what really seals the deal. A single cup of cottage cheese delivers around 25 grams of protein for roughly 200 calories, making it one of the most calorie-efficient protein sources you can find in any grocery store anywhere in the world. Eat it on seeded sourdough. Pair it with smoked salmon. Sprinkle seeds on top. Any way you do it, you're hitting protein, gut health, bone health, and metabolic stability in a single bowl that costs almost nothing. Cottage cheese is the underdog of the breakfast world. Time to give it the starting position. And if cottage cheese surprised you, wait until you hear about number 2. It's been consumed by human beings for thousands of years. It sounds completely bizarre as a morning food, and the research behind why it belongs in your daily routine is genuinely fascinating. Number 2, raw sauerkraut. Before you scroll past this one, just wait. Raw sauerkraut is not the sad, vinegary stuff from the bottom of a hot dog cart. It's fermented cabbage, and it's one of the most powerful probiotic foods on earth. More potent than most yogurts, more diverse than most store-bought supplements. The key word is raw. Pasteurized sauerkraut has been heated, and that heat destroys the live microbes that make it valuable. Raw sauerkraut has those live bacteria intact, and they go straight to work supporting your gut microbiome's diversity, reducing inflammation and improving immune function. It's also surprisingly high in vitamin C, vitamin K2, which removes calcium from your arteries and joints, and something called glutamine, which actually heals gut inflammation. And here's the kicker that most people never consider. The fermentation process that creates sauerkraut actually multiplies the vitamin C content of the original cabbage by several times, meaning a small half-cup serving delivers more immune-supporting vitamin C than most people get from an entire day of eating. Just half a cup to a cup a day as a side. Paired with eggs, it genuinely works. This is the food your gut has been waiting for. Half a cup of sauerkraut a day. Your immune system doesn't care if it sounds weird. Neither should you. And now, the moment you've been waiting for. Number 1 is not exotic, not expensive, and the longevity data behind it is some of the strongest we have for any single food on the planet. Here's the big one. Number 1, extra virgin olive oil. This one might surprise you as number 1. But stick with me, because the research here is unlike almost anything else in nutrition science. Extra virgin olive oil is the cornerstone of the Mediterranean diet, which is consistently associated with lower rates of cardiovascular disease, dementia, and all-cause mortality. What makes it work is the polyphenol content, those compounds that give it that slightly bitter, peppery bite at the back of your throat. Those polyphenols specifically protect the endothelium, the lining of your blood vessels, which is the very first thing to deteriorate on the road to heart disease, years before any symptoms show up. EVO raises HDL cholesterol, reduces oxidative stress, and has a measurable anti-inflammatory effect that rivals some pharmaceutical compounds. Large prospective studies show people who consume more olive oil have meaningfully lower risks of cardiovascular events, neurodegenerative diseases, and death overall. And here's the truth most people miss at the grocery store. Refined olive oil loses the vast majority of its polyphenols during processing, which means the cheap generic bottle on the bottom shelf is essentially just a cooking fat with none of the health benefits that decades of research have been pointing to. Drizzle it on your eggs, pour it over your sauerkraut, dip your sourdough in it, use it instead of butter on everything. This isn't just a cooking fat, it's a daily health intervention in a bottle. Extra virgin olive oil, the one food your heart, your brain, and your blood vessels all agree on. That's a rare consensus. And there you have it. 15 morning foods that could genuinely change the trajectory of your health. How many of these are already in your morning routine? Drop a comment below and let me know which one shocked you the most. And if this video opened your eyes to what you should really be eating every morning, hit that subscribe button, because we put out videos just like this every single week. Now, if you want to know more about foods that are secretly destroying your health without you even realizing it, click this video right here. Trust me, your body will thank you.